Let's see. I think I am. Okay, just got connected on Facebook and YouTube. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How was everybody's weekend? Because Monday's. Today's Tuesday, right? I think so. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Say hello. Behind my strap. What's going on, people? Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. Hi, Oluwabumi. Hello, how are you? Quinta, hello. Um, hello, everyone. Come on in, say hello when you come on. Let's talk immigration. How's everybody doing? How's your Tuesday going? What you guys got planned for Thanksgiving? I am doing good, Ms. Benice. Thank you for asking. What's everybody's hello, Abby? What day 77007? I can tell I don't have my glasses. Buzz Mama One, how are you? Sexy Tie. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday. This is Walter Carter. Happy birthday, Walter. How old are you today? People don't like sharing their age, but hey, listen, I'm 44. I don't mind sharing my age because it's no big deal. It's just age. Don't let the white hair fool you. People are just going to get confused, especially my kids' friends. Good day to you as well, Ultimate. They always look at my hair and look at my face. And there was one of my youngest kids' friend says, Miss Abby, your face looks really young, but your hair looks like my grandmother's hair. And you're like, see, this is where you have to pray for Jesus to help you so you don't kill somebody's child. But kids will always be kids and they're going to tell you what they really think. But anyway, this is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olaleye. I am an immigration attorney based in Alabama, and I represent immigration clients in all 50 states. If you get an immigration case with a case type that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients regardless of the state you live in. That's a question we get every single day. And I don't mind answering that same question every single day because, because there are many immigrants, millions of immigrants in the country. So obviously there's going to be somebody who doesn't know. And people get to know. But anyway, if we can help you with your immigration case, please contact our office. Our number is 334-341-4475. You can also text us to that number. You can the same number on WhatsApp as well. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share, like Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. All 4 platforms. If you put in Ole Immigration, you see this gray hair, salt and pepper hair. I just rebraided my hair this weekend. And you should have heard me yesterday just screaming and say it looks like you can tell that it's more wavy, like I curved it more. Listen, y'all don't even know. But I thank God. It's the hair God gave us, and we're just going to love it just the way it is. Let's talk immigration. So this evening, you already know the drill. Questions in the comments, and we get through them. Let's talk about something that a lot of people are experiencing. And if you guys want to let me know what you have planned for Thanksgiving. Oh, by the way, so I will not be live on Thursday. That's Thanksgiving. That's time with family. My staff and I are going to be spending time with the family members, and it's the holiday season. Things start to slow down, and we start to accept and embrace what's more important with it, which is family time with people that we love. So, y'all, there's a lot to be thankful for. The fact that we're all still breathing today, November 22nd, 11/22/22. So, especially such like if you've heard me say it, my number since my dad passed away, I've always seen on the clock, anywhere clock and any time clock, wristwatch, whatever, 11/11/22/22, 3 things, but for the most part, 1111 or 111. So anything that's got to do with that number sequence is always indication that I could be thinking of something that I want to do. And if or I'm trying to make a decision on something, or I'm not sure, and I'm thinking, okay, this is what my mind is thinking. And if I see 1111, like last week, a week ago, exactly today is when I was involved in an accident. And as God would have it, I'm still here. And on the way, because they had to come tow my car, and in the truck, when I looked down and I was thinking, I was like, I wasn't supposed to be heading that way today. And God has a reason for that. And I know there's a reason. As I had that thought in my head, I picked up my phone, and I kid you not, as soon as I was done thinking, that was just thought in my head. I looked at my phone, it was 11:11. And I just smiled, and I showed it to the driver, and he goes, that's your confirmation right there. You're not supposed to be heading that direction. So God needed to stop you somehow. And so, there's a lot to be thankful for. Look at the whole year, things that you thought you could not achieve. Because you're still breathing, that means God still has a plan for you. So thankful for the gift of life. So, and I'm very, very thankful for all of you for the support. I cannot, sometimes I always say that if you could see my heart, because you support me when you don't have to, that means a lot. And so for that, I'm very, very grateful for my family on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, and YouTube. Anyway, so a lot to be thankful for. So we're going to be taking some time off with family later this week. So let's talk immigration. And this evening, we're going to talk about tackling USCIS delays. Tackling USCIS delays. That is something that is driving most of us crazy. Listen. Like today, for instance, USCIS knows how to drive you insane. They sent back a packet today. They rejected a packet that we sent. All they put there was address incomplete. And I'm looking through almost, 250 pages, and I'll be damned. Y'all just sat down in your office and looked at this whole well put together package. And on this one particular form, you decided the address wasn't complete. And I don't see what the problem is. So resent it again, just messed up my whole day, because I'm just thinking, who are these people that are employed or working in this mail room? And you have a G28. You have a G28, and okay, you think I'm distracted. I'm not distracted because so my 12-year-old has this group of friends, and I think they probably are following me on TikTok. And I'm not going to call your names out. So they're chatting, and I can see the chat. Teja's mom is streaming live right now. Hi, everyone. Teja's mom. G28, the mailing address is right there. So what in the world is wrong with you guys? What the heck is going on? But anyway, I just decided, you know what? Sometimes I need to be encouraged. So when I called my client, she encouraged me, and he goes, "There's a reason why things happen. Well, that's okay. I appreciate you working on it and sending it right back." So we just encourage one another. But my point is, we're dealing with USCIS. They're a crazy bunch, but we don't have a choice. But then we have a lot of cases that are backlogged. They're just backlogged. There's nothing. We're not cases pending. I have a client who retained my services a year ago, and by the time they retained me, their I-130 has been pending for 4 years. So come January, I already told them. This kids or something. Come January, I already told them, if we don't have anything, we're going to send a demand letter. Number one, if within 30 days we don't get anything, then it's time to sue USCIS. That's just the way it is. We're going to sue them. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about. If you have a case that's been delayed, then what are your options with USCIS? Because normally back in the day, when things were still perfect in our formerly perfect world, right? Because now they hide behind COVID for everything. You can literally, I still had that happen 2 times this year. where we had interviews. We filed, had an interview, got green card in less than 6 months. Okay, those are unicorn cases, right? And I had 2 other I-751 filed. We didn't have interviews. They're actually scheduling, or they're waiving more interviews now. So if you put your case together and you have sufficient supporting evidence, then you will stand a chance of having interview waived. So one of the things I always tell people is, if you don't send in your medical examination, for instance, and USCI sends you the deficiency notice, and the deficiency notice will say, we're going to either send you an RFE, right? And if we do, it's RFE for the medical, and if we send that to you, then that means that we're not going to be scheduling for an interview. However, if we're going to schedule for an interview, we'll send you an interview notice, and that is your cue to bring it to your interview notice. So clients are getting the RFE for the medical. And that's usually, obviously, that's not saying, okay, we've approved your case. But I tell my clients, hey, that is an indication that they will probably not schedule an interview in your case. So the more evidence you can send in, the better the more you increase your chances of having your interview waived. But if you've got the interview, you've been waiting for, since Jesus came back the first time around, and no decision, no green card, nothing, no RFE, nothing. What can you do? Now, keep in mind, if your case is still within the normal processing times, then there's nothing you can do. You've got to wait out the time and until your case is outside normal processing time. How would you know? You've got to go to uscis.gov/processing times, put in your priority date, meaning the receipt date. If it's telling you now, you can make inquiries about your case, and that means your case is now outside normal processing time. It will give you an average time of how long it's taking them to process 80% of those cases, right? So this is for those whose cases are outside normal processing time. What are the options you have if USCIS is just completely ridiculously delaying your case? First option, make your inquiry. So make the inquiry to them, put in your receipt date. If your priority date / receipt date, and it shows that now you can send us an inquiry, then contact the call center. I've made a video about that. A lot of people say, well, there's nobody we can talk to. When you call the toll-free number and the automated system asks you how can we help you, please say info pass. Say info pass. What is the other one you can say? I forget. I'll let you guys know. One of my colleagues said it today, and that's what I used to do. I was like, oh, damn, I didn't know that too. But InfoPass works all the time. You're going to get a live person. Let them know your case is outside normal processing time. Now, if your case is a VAR case, you cannot get someone to speak. They don't have access to VAR cases when you call the toll-free number, because VAR cases are sealed cases. They're confidential. So you would have to literally write Vermont Service Center. So that's the option you have when it comes to VAR, if your case is VAR. Make the inquiry with them, let them know so they can create a case number for you and look into why your case is being delayed. That's, for the most part, you're probably going to have to do that like 2-3 times. And here's one of the reasons why you have to do that. If you're going to be doing the next option, which is moving forward and doing an ombudsman inquiry. Ombudsman inquiry, it's like a supervisory office for USCIS where they look into the adjudicating office and inquire into why it's taking that long for them to make a decision on that pending case. But one of the things you'll be required to do is to let the ombudsman office know. They would ask you the question when you put it online: have you made a service inquiry to USCIS? If you have, what is that service ticket number? They would usually give you a ticket number starting with T, for the most part, ending with MSC or whatever, NBC, whatever the case may be. And so you have to put that in. So that's option number 2. The first thing you have to do is make the inquiry to USCIS themselves, make a call. If your case is not a confidential case, if your case is a confidential case, meaning it's like a VAR case or an I-751 VAR case, remember that's the whole full-blown VAR case, and then there's an I-751 extreme cruelty still under the VAR Act. That you have to write USCIS Vermont Service Center. or whatever office is over your case. Second option is, if that doesn't do anything, move on to make an ombudsman inquiry. Ombudsman inquiry is a supervisory office over the adjudicating offices for USCIs. Now, there's no guarantee that that's going to help you, but one of my clients, that's what we did. He had filed his I-130 for his sons back in 2016. He hired my services in 2000, end of 2020. By end of last year, we still didn't have anything. We sent and made several inquiries. And so beginning of this year, we did ombudsman inquiry. And within 6 months, those I-130s were approved. It doesn't work that way for everybody, because I have another I-130 that is still pending. We've done ombudsman inquiry the whole year. And so we've waited the whole year. We ain't going to wait anymore come January. What if that doesn't work? What's your next option? Send a demand letter to the adjudicating office. Either it be the service center or the field office if you've had your interview. Let them know, hey, I've had my interview since this date. You told me it needs further review. You told me you would make a decision within 120 days. I've been waiting 3-4 years. You haven't made a decision. My life basically is on hold. I need you guys to freaking make a decision. Now, a demand letter is basically you telling them, I am at the point of having to sue your office if a decision is not made. That's what a demand letter does. So as that worked for me many, many more times, I would say 90% of the time, when we send a demand letter, that works and we get a decision. It's not always, for the most part, it's a favorable decision, but it's not always. Now, demand letter doesn't mean they have to make a final decision. Sometimes it makes them decide, okay, yeah, let's look at the file and we're going to send you a notice of intent to deny, or we're going to send you a request for evidence, one of the two. So it just depends. But as it works, yes, demand letter is very, very straightforward, very to the point. You give a case summary of what when you filed your case, who the petitioner is, who the beneficiary is, when you had your interview, what you were told during the interview, if you've had a RFU, if you did, you responded to it, how long it's been since you responded to it, how long it's been since you filed your case, how long it's been since the last inquiry you made, you've called their office, nothing has been done, and you are at the point where the law allows you to sue them because they have not made a decision and it's not ridiculously at the number of in time, that it's now at the point where you are able to find to seek recourse in the court of law. They have too many cases pending in the U.S. district courts all over the country. The last thing they need is to have additional cases. Now, if that doesn't work, the final option you have in tackling the USCI's delay is the writ of mandamus. What is a writ of mandamus? A writ of mandamus is basically you suing USCIS in court because they have there's been undue delay that has now caused hardship on you, a stagnancy in your life, and you are asking the court to mandate them. That's where mandamus, mandate, basically force them to make a decision on your case. It's a court order. And so they do not have a choice but to make a decision on your case within a set period of time. Keep in mind, this is a caveat to the writ of mandamus. Once you do a writ of mandamus does not mandate, no pun intended, doesn't mandate USCIS to make a favorable decision on your behalf. No. The only thing writ of mandamus seeks to do and can do is for USCIS to make a decision in your case. Why is that important? Because once they have the court order, that order is basically saying it's time for you to decide. That means they can either approve or they can deny, or they can send you an RFE or send you a notice of intent to deny. It doesn't say they have to make a final decision. It just says they have to make a decision on that pending case. I used to do writ of mandamus. I no longer do it. because half of the time they just deny the cases because they were told to do, they were commanded in order to do something. And so you've got to, and I always tell my clients, listen, you've got to be at the point where you're okay with whatever decision they make. You just want them to make a decision. Now, if they make a decision that is not factually based or legally based, then obviously you would have an I-130 denied and they're claiming the insufficient bona fide evidence, but then you already have sufficient bona fide evidence. Obviously you can appeal, which is more legal fees and more time, but at least you know that a decision has been made and what the next step will be. So that's all she wrote in tackling USCI's delays. Just to reiterate, first point of call is make the inquiry to USCIS. When you make a call to them, and as long as it's not a confidential case like a VA case, ask for info patch. You would be able to speak with somebody. Keep in mind, if you are not, for instance, if you have a marriage case and you're not the I-130 petitioner, meaning you are like the I-45 beneficiary, you cannot make an inquiry on behalf of your spouse. Now, a lot of people do it and they pretend to be the other spouse, or they get their brother and say, "This is me." You're not supposed to. If the inquiry doesn't work, look to seek. One part I forgot. One step I forgot. After ombudsman, in between ombudsman inquiry and demand letter, seek congressional assistance. Congressional assistance, either through your congressman and woman, either through a senator, your state senator. Each state has 2 senators. I usually prefer to go through senators just because I feel they have more, what's the word I'm looking for? Influence than congressmen and women. That's just me. Because, there are a lot of Congress people in each state, but then each state has just 2 senators because, House of Senate has just 100 members, and then House of Reps has like 200 million people. That's just me. So inquiry to USCIS directly. If that doesn't work, ombudsman inquiry, the supervisory office. If that doesn't work, seek congressional assistance through your senator or congressman and women, because what they do is to make an inquiry directly to USCIS. They are your representative, and USCIS has to give them a response. And usually they do. And then they will contact you and let you know what the response they got is. Now, they cannot force USCIS to make any decision. All the congressional assistance does is to say, hey, this person says their case is out to number present time. What is the update? What's going on? Why is that? Whatever USCIS tells them, they come back to you to tell you. So they cannot make USCIS do anything. It's just making inquiry like, okay, your case is being looked at by your congressional rep or senatorial rep. If that doesn't work, demand letter, that has worked for me many, many more times. If that doesn't work, the final point of call is filing the writ of mandamus against USCIS. And that's all she wrote. All right, people, let's take questions. Okay. All righty, so I'm going to start on Facebook and YouTube. Once again, if we can help you with your immigration cases, contact information is 334-341-4475. You can also visit our website at olalayelawfirm.com, OLALEYE lawfirm.com. Okay, Andrew Lopez, why some VA case approved in 6 to 9 months and others 2 to 3 years, court type abuse, they approved early. They approved early. It's not about an approval. So Andrew, it's not Andrew. It's not about the abuse or what type of abuse gets approved earlier. No, that's not how it works. It's priority date. So a case that gets approved in 6 to 9 months, for the most part, hello, Mr. Abu, how are you? For the most part, many more times, those people already were beneficiaries of an I-130. When people tell you information, give you information, they wouldn't give you all that information on your need. ṣe mọ̀ pé mo gbé bá wọlé ní January ìgbà tó di March wọ́n ti approve it. And then they make you go crazy, like, okay, what's going on? My case is going 3 years. What's going on? The truth of the matter is, even though you're not required to ask the Monterey Senate to transfer your priority date, but a lot of people do that, or they would apply the priority date if people have evidence of them being beneficiaries of the I-130. So what that, for instance, okay, Andrew, for instance, if you had your spouse file an I-130 for you back in 2017, and you're able to transfer the priority date of that I-130, it doesn't matter whether the I-130 has been denied, withdrawn, revoked. It doesn't matter. As long as you were the beneficiary of that I-130, the law allows you to transfer the priority date of that I-130 to your VAR case. So if you had an I-130 filed for you back in 2017, if you're transferring the priority date to your VAR case in 2022, the effect it has is it will be as if you had filed the VAR petition as of 2017. That's the advantage of transferring your priority date. How does that translate to a faster processing time? Because if you're looking at how long it's taking them, for instance, they're currently working on cases received on or before. Let me look at it real quick. I-360 processing time. I haven't looked at it today. Let's see, violence against women, center. So it's taking them, give or take, about 31 months. So 2.5 years, right? But someone who had an I-130 that they were the beneficiary of, that was filed in 2017, that's 5 years. So that means that transferring the priority date of the I-130 to the I-360, and it gives the effect of a SIP that I-360 was filed in 2017. And by that means it is way outside normal processing time, even though they're just filing it this year. So that means they have to adjudicate that I-360 because the priority date mandates them to do that. So I hope that explains why. So it's not about the kind of abuse that determines how fast your VAR case is going to be approved. It's got nothing to do with that at all. Jude says religious worker category. Green card applicants required to be in the country for 5 years to apply for citizenship. I'm not sure I understand your question, but if your question is how long someone who gets their green card based on EB4 religious worker special immigrant petition, how long you, after getting the green card, how long you have to be a green card holder before you can apply for citizenship, it's still the same 5 years. Jennifer says, I recently got my VA approved. Congratulations. Got an RFE today from embassy asking for my birth certificate. I don't have a certificate, but I have an affidavit which is submitted when filed. It says submit a regional. What should I do? Consult with an immigration attorney. And also you can go to reciprocity schedule to see what you can send in as secondary evidence. You would also, in your RFE, they will let you know what the secondary evidence they will consider will be. If you're unsure, then it's time for you to find out, to sit down with a lawyer. Okay, let me go on TikTok. Thank you, sexy_tall, for sharing. I appreciate that. Thank you, Marsha Marlowe. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Olulu. Happy birthday, Walter, once again. How old are you? Let me see if you put your age there. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Age is just a number, people. Ain't that serious. Okay, hold on 1 second. This thing always populates. Uh, visa or should okay, no. This is it's a lot. Okay, going well. Okay, I'm back there. Please, why does VOT take so long? 31 and a half months is what, and keep in mind, people, the 31 and a half months applies to the VOT petition, not the whole green card process. It takes a long time. It really does. And that's a deterrent for some people that I consult with, even though they know that they've been abused. And but like a lady who really, she's been waiting. For instance, she's been waiting for what, 2 years now, but the abuse got so bad that we started the VAW petition. We already completed everything, and just about to send it down. She goes, you know what? I just wanted to, with something in my spirit just tells me that my green card is about to be approved. So obviously she's going to be out of legal services, legal fees, because we've already done the work. But we paused the contracts. She's not paying anything anymore further. So, and then today she sent me, Miss Geraldine, they're doing fine. Today she sent me an update where she got an error fee just to send in the medicals, and that is an indication that most likely her green card is going to be is about to be approved. So obviously we have to pause that, and in situations like that, even though she's been abused, she's been really, really abused, but she's really close to getting the green card. It makes sense to just pause and let that take its course rather than letting her not, because she's been waiting for that 2 years, because she's the beneficiary of an I-130. She's going to benefit from being able to transfer priority date, but it does not mean that means that's still going to put a hold on the 45 if we transfer the basis. So sometimes you just, now if I would never advise you to stay in an abusive marriage, but you've got to weigh your options. I have someone else who consulted with me today. She's been waiting on a decision since 2018, and finally got an RFE, and she was like, you know what? No. She consulted with me in September, and then she'd been waiting for 4 years, and I said, let's give it another 60 days. If nothing happens, then but before 4 years is quite a long time to not just go ahead and convert. Like, I will tell you what my concerns are. And especially because once you retain my services, it's very, very clear in my contract. That's how our attorneys make money. We make money by time we spend working. So it's not until your case is done. And if you now have to stop or withdraw service or whatever the case may be, then you're billed up until the time that work stops. So if I don't have to start anything based on your specific situation, I would let you know. I just don't want you to just, let's be another. I'll let you know, hey, this is what's going to happen. If you stop, you're going to be out this legal fees. So we may wait and just see what happens, unless you just, I'll give you the whole picture. And that's why I told her. And today she consulted with me again, because if you've not been my client, you've not retained my services, you're going to have to pay to talk to me. This is my free consultation. And she's going to RFE. And I'm hoping it's for her medical. And if it is, then there really is no point starting the VAR case again. She's just going to get send that in and get her green card. So it just depends on each case, and VAR petition takes a while. And then once that is approved, then they go ahead and adjudicate your 45. So you've got to 62 in that. 62 is a new 40. Because I remember growing up where my mother was, I still remember vividly when my mother was 40. I think I was 15. When my mom was 40, I felt like, wow, she's 40, like she's old. And then I turned 40 4 years ago. Like, I'll be damned if somebody calls me old. Like, I'm just starting. Like, life is. I told my boys, like, don't even tell people that I'm your mother when we go out. I'm your older sister. That's my mom. But leave it alone. Who's your mother? Go look for your mother. Just leave it alone. No, don't put Sansa in my Gary. Single lady. No, don't be doing that kind of thing. Hi, can you tell me if it's best my Jamaican husband should I file for an adjustment status on his visa, or should I file for green card for him? You got to sit down with a lawyer to discuss your options. Sis Nus Olayinka, I'm doing very well. How are you? Okay. Thank you for all the roses. What does the interview for N600 consist of? Are you asking N600 or N400? Because 600 is you getting certificate of citizenship, and 400 is the citizenship itself. Oh, if y'all been watching World Cup, can you tell I'm an African woman? Now, the debate in my house is should it be called, so this is Argentina and what? Should it be called, Americans call it soccer. Like when I moved to this country 2 decades ago, and I was like, what the heck is soccer? And like, when I found that they called football soccer, it's like, for real? But that was the one that played Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. And I was like, for real? How in the world did Americans change football to soccer? And then we got found out because they call their own football, which doesn't make any sense because they don't use their feet to play. But anyway, I digress. But World Cup, and listen, I follow it like Jesus is coming back and giving us exams on it. Um, Official Prince Jeje, I called you yesterday. You didn't pick up. No, if you called my office, somebody will always pick up. My front desk will always pick up your phone. If you call on WhatsApp, WhatsApp specifically says we don't pick up calls on WhatsApp. It's specifically for consultations or text messages. So if you called my office, somebody will pick up your phone. If you know, somebody will pick up your phone. So the question is, where did you call? If you called WhatsApp, no one is going to pick up your call. Let's see. My attorney filed VAW September 2022, but no answer, no receipt yet. How long? It's taking forever. I have cases. I have over 10 VAW cases that we're still waiting on receipt notices. Actually, I have, let me make sure this. Okay. So my bundle right here. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 VAW petitions that we filed August through October. We just literally got the receipt notices today. That's just what we're seeing. Sis Nas Olayinka, filed for VAW since 2018, no response. You got to, if you don't have a lawyer in your case, then one of the advantages of having a lawyer in your case when it comes to VAW case is because sometimes if you write to Vermont Service Center, they're not sure who you are. So if you don't give enough identification, they will just send you an informational notice saying, you have to call. I don't know. I can't remember what it is now. But if you have a lawyer in your case, we have an email that we can use as attorneys, and we can send an email to them directly to confirm our credentials and identity and respond to that email. Sometimes it takes them 30 days. That's just USCIs. But you would always 100% of the time get a response to the emails that I send. So that's a fast way to get to, number one, know that you communicated with them and they received it, because you get an auto response once you send that email. And it's a way where they can, for instance, I would use it to ask for what's it called? Duplicates of prima facie determination if I'm taking over a case, or duplicate of approval notices, anything, or to send additional evidence, attach it and they'll add it to the file. So that's one, that's something you guys should think about, that it's an advantage of having an attorney in your case. _Tunde, I need your help. Contact my office, 334-341-4475, or send a text on to WhatsApp. I have a girl, Lydia, who does our text messages, and she is very, very good in sending what's it called, consultation information, or if you have a text, if you have a question that she can answer, she will text you. Email her to Olaleye Law Firm LLC at gmail.com. So we are, I got people on all fronts, people. I can't do this for myself. I got people. I got my son working for me. So my son is going to be 18 in 2 weeks. I cannot believe I have an 18-year-old. I cannot believe I have an almost 18-year-old. Like the other day I was telling him, because I used, my kids have almost 6 years between them. So for almost 6 years it was just me and SJ. That's my oldest kid. And he was taking me to, he drove me to, where did he drive me to? Where the hell did we go? Well, I know, like 2 days ago, he drove me somewhere. And I was like, and like how time flies. I'm like, remember the time I used to drive you everywhere, and you were in the back seat, and you would, cry or something like, sharing, "Oh my, mama, you on the side of the road, like, don't drive me insane." And like, but look at you now, driving your mama everywhere. You just thank God, like, wow. I still don't know what I'm going to do when he goes to college with this 12-year-old that doesn't know how to drive yet. But he's working for me as well. Yeah. And he gets paid. He gets paid. He's got his own checking account. He's got his own car. You got to make them understand that you've got to work for whatever it is. If you want something, you got to work for it. Now, my 12-year-old is a work in progress. He's a baby, and everyone's lives revolves around TJ. So we're getting there. We're getting there. The firstborns are usually like the leaders. The babies are the ones who milk everybody. But yeah. How long after you send your RFE for medical records will USCIS get back to you? It just depends on your field office. There's no time frame. New York City, this is Jermaine, more than 90 days since submitting RFE, already did interview. What next? That's exactly what we talked about. So usually they say 120 days before you contact them and see what they say. Let's see. You're welcome, Sissy Nurse Online, Sissy Nurse. Waiting for interview for March 2022. Is that too long of a period to wait for an interview? No, because I have a case that, January 1st, they're going to be hearing from me. No, well, not January 1st. First, have you guys done, have you guys done your Christmas decoration and all? Well, listen, I usually don't look forward to it, but I love the lights and all that. But yeah. I don't have babies anymore. Like when my kids were much younger, they were always like, "Hey, Christmas, my baby is 12." But yeah, we'll do it sometime. It's not even Thanksgiving yet. But March 2022, that's not, I have a case we're still waiting on an interview since April 2021. But first week in January, like I was saying, there's going to be a lot of letters going out because we ain't just dealing with this BS anymore. Let's see. Okay, some of the questions are the same questions other people are asking. What if someone was born overseas and their consulate report of birth abroad was never filed and the entry to the United States is illegal? Talk to a lawyer and see what your options are. My I-130 was approved, Sissy Nurse, in 2016, but no response on my license. So you may want to send in a copy of your I-130 so that they see that you were the beneficiary or the beneficiary of that, and that should help some with your case. It's 7 months since I did my biometrics for I-485. Should I be waiting some way? Yeah. Does changing your address after filing slow your process down? The only reason why it will slow you down is if they cannot contact you. If they send you information and they don't, and you don't get the notices, and or you don't change your address and they send it to your old address and you're not getting it. You didn't have a mail forwarding service done. Other than that, there really shouldn't be any reason why it should. Since you know it's my congress, so your congressperson wrote every 6 months on your behalf. Then it's time to send them a demand letter. It's time to think about, for if you get to the point of writ of mandamus, just be prepared that you're okay with whatever decision they make, but you may not have a choice but to sue them in court. I want to renew my mom's U.S. visa in Niger, but I was given an option for waiver. Any idea what it means? Speak with a lawyer. Can a spouse who passed away be a green card advantage despite already filed VAWA? The VAWA petition is the same thing used for a widow's petition. So, Oyangs, that's something you need to talk to a lawyer, because just asking, that's not a yes or no kind of question. So, what was the basis for you filing the VAWA? So, when did they pass away? Are you still within the time frame when they passed away to now file a widow's petition? Are you still married? There's a whole lot of questions that you need to be able to answer to know, how to proceed on that. Squad 007. I got married in October 2021. I'm still waiting on an interview. Is that too long of a wait? No. The funny thing is, why not put in my client's receipt date, and based on the field office, it's showing us that it's still within the more person time. We're like, almost 2 years. No, we're about to start fighting over here. Okay. If I'm pregnant and having complications, my doctor wrote a letter stating condition, it was denied. What can I do? What denied for? What was denied? Okay. Let's get to Instagram. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm watching I missed the. Anyway, never mind. Trying to catch up on my World Cup. Hey, Miss Pam. I'm one that I was never able to. Even in secondary school, I used to do crash program a lot. Even in university, in college, University of Illinois, I used to do a lot of crash. I remember that there was one of my professors, Professor Jadola. He taught criminal law, and there was a day he was oh my Lord, he can embarrass you, Lord. But anyway, I don't know what we're talking about. And then he was like, am I sorry with Samuel? No, Samuel. Because Samuel is my maiden name. Am I sorry with Samuel? Only back we entity like the night before. Should go back by A and Shani. Umagba A and Shani. So I was the master of crash program. Like the day before, you crash, you take the test, and you're like, hey, whatever. Until the day I had a party that I did not study, and let's just leave that because my mother may be watching. That was not even funny. That was not funny. But anyway, that was me. Even I'm just one that Yeah. Listen, I was thinking of a lot of things. Let's just leave that alone because I was going to tell you guys something else, but I digress. Leave it alone. Okay. What about someone that's new? I mean, yeah. What was I going to say? Listen, well, let me just say. So basically, I used to crash room, but I'm one that I cannot study. I never was able to study in the library. A lot of people find that very odd, but I cannot study in a quiet place. I have to have some noise in the background. And so for me, being able to study, like, well, I had to do when, I had to study for 2 months when I was taking in either bar exams that I took. But being able and studying for, like, continuous, like, days before, I have an attention span of a 2-year-old. So you've got to, it just, but one thing that helps me study is background noise. So even though I have the World Cup going in front of me, it's not a distraction. It actually helps me concentrate on what I'm doing. I don't know if that makes sense. So I know what I'm doing right like that, but if it's quiet around me, I can't, like, I never do my lives without my TV on. It's just gonna be too quiet. I never draft brief or anything without some background noise because my mind will be everywhere. So that distraction in the background helps me focus. It doesn't make sense to anybody, but y'all know. I'm just, I'm a different. I was talking to a friend today. You're like, it's gonna take a special, um, not a special man, but it's gonna take a specific kind of man who can understand me and deal with me, because I have a heart of gold, but I can be complicated. I can be complicated, but in a good way, interesting way. Deliberately delayed cases, how backlog can they be? And I've been asking the same darn question, for months now. Conveniently, it's because, thank you, Sister Lainka. It's because of COVID. But I mean, shh. Hello, Miss Lawanola. Driving a lot of people crazy. I completely understand. And I think with yours, I think, come first week in January, if we don't have any traction, I think it's time for us to send a demand letter to, because that's what I did in two other cases, but that was about a year. But so let's wait about a year and then let's send that. See, his friends is still going. Yeah. Oh Lord. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I was talking about law. I think that's Walker. It's about law. Oh, not whatever. It's about law. That's what pays the bills. You gotta love 12 and 13-year-old kids. Carefree, like, hey, or some of my kids like, this is the best life is gonna get when somebody else is taking care of everything you need. What's the lie? Everything you need. So, and want. How long will it take if a green card mother files a petition for 19-year-old daughter? So green, that's a minor child, and so that is F2B. I always have to check for whatever reason. F2B, unmarried. Unmarried, as long as the 19-year-old is unmarried, under the age of 21, unmarried child of a permanent resident, F2B. Let's see. I'll be damned. No, 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 no. I take that back. F2A. F2A. Correction. F2A. F2B is over 21. F2A is under 21. So right now, if you're filing the I-130 first, obviously that's got to be approved. And if the person is here, did she come in? Is she in the country? Is she going to be applying for her visa at the embassy? But so all of that makes up how the length of time for her to get her green card. Any idea when DACA reopens? No, it's still a no-go for DACA new applications. Renewals are still fine, but new applications is still a no-go, so nobody knows. Courtesy demands I should let you know when to pray. Yeah, sure, absolutely. Pel_. I want to go now. That no problem. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. That is really, really respectful. I appreciate that. Will there still request RFE for medicals? So if your medicals that you sent in expired, then they probably will. And Lembo, Beauty Braids official, they're probably sending an RFE for that. Is there a delay in receipt notices for I-589? Absolutely. Ridiculously delayed. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but you now can file your asylum application online. You're able to file asylum applications online now. So just so you know. VA receipt notices are ridiculous. There's one right here in one of my pile right here that was received. Let me tell you exactly the date it was received. And we just got it today. This was received on September 28, 2022. So almost 2 months. Okay. Looking at another one was received September 19, 2022. And September 19, that's more than 2 months. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, let's see. Gifted, if VAW was denied because of divorce decree from Nigeria, can it be appealed? You're able to appeal a VAW denial, but you have to make sure that the divorce decree, the appeal, which is, if that's the basis for your denial, do you have evidence to rebut that denial based on, verified divorce decree, certified true copy, whatever the case may be? Just make sure you have that. And you may want to talk to your lawyer before you do that. How long after marriage should you submit your paperwork? There's no time frame, as long as you don't get married within 90 days of you entering the country. My passport is expired and I have been invited for biometrics. Can I take the expired passport as the only identification I have? Generally, yes, you can. Disclaimer, this is not a response to anybody's particular questions. So good evening. Would it be necessary to file a separate Form I-485 for a minor under 14 years? Every applicant requires their own I-485. There's no derivative beneficiary for 485. You've got to file your own 485, whether the person is 2 years old or 24 years old. Okay. All right. Let me take just a few more on Facebook and we'll call it a day. Fun. So typically, how long after you have been granted a prima facie does it take to get your work permit? One has nothing to do with the other. Chinubulari says, how do we know priority date? So priority date is the date that is your received date. Now, priority date can vary depending on the kind of petition. Example, if you are filing an employment-based petition, a perm process application, which you have to file the perm application with Department of Labor, the priority date in that situation, when you file, when that is certified, and now you file an I-140, the immigrant petition for alien worker, the priority date on that I-140 is gonna be the date that the perm application for the labor certification was filed. I'm probably going to confuse a lot of people, so let's just leave that alone. All you have to know is, for the most part, priority date is receipt date, but some applications have a different priority date, even if it can be an earlier priority date than you filed it. And another example would be, if you were the beneficiary of an I-130 and you file a VAL case, then your priority date for your VAL petition will probably reflect your I-130 receipt date. But it just depends on what kind of application. But for the most part, it's the receipt date. Can a green card holder file a fiancé visa? No. My green card with 4 years in December. Can I file an N-400 based on the fact that it can take a longer time to process? No. You cannot file earlier than the 90-day window before the 50th anniversary based on 5 years. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody. That's all I can take for tonight. Once again, if we can help you with your case, please contact us 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. I hope you'll have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. There's a whole lot we can be thankful for and grateful. Gratitude is huge in my household. And there's a friend who told me one time, and I think it's a popular saying, that gratitude determines your altitude or something. I don't know how it goes, but a heart of gratitude opens doors for you. That's the way I see it. Even when things are not going well, just remember, like my client was telling me today, sometimes I need encouragement. Sometimes you're like, you know what, there's a reason for everything. And I had to catch myself, like, you know what, I ain't gonna make this people mess up my whole day. I'm grateful that I'm here to have it delivered on time, where they're waiting 2 months for them to even send it back. There's always, 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 in every circumstance, there's always something to look forward and say, thank you, Jesus. A week ago, I could have been mulling about a car, but instead I was like, I thank God that not a scratch in my body, a car can be fixed, but a soul cannot be purchased. You have one life. And so even in the season of Thanksgiving, I pray that we'll always, always have something to be grateful for, to thank God for, and that circumstances of thanks will not cease from our household. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I'll see you guys live next week.